If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again and welcome to episode number 76 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start with, well, probably the biggest game of the season so far. Bigger, in fact, than the game against Chelsea in the FA Cup because it's first versus second in the Championship. They're on 63 points, QPR, we're on 61. We've already played them at Loftus Road and now it's time to take them on at the Abbey. Unfortunately, having to play Tom Elliott and James Wilson up top due to the rather congested, shall we say, fixture list. Plenty of fixtures coming short and fast, unfortunately, at the minute, so not too much of a gap in between games for me to be able to rest players, so effectively just having to completely rotate most of my starting 11. But they're starting with a 4-4-2, which is something you don't necessarily see a lot from sides this high up in the divisions. When we were in League 2, we had a lot of sides playing 4-4-2 against us, but since we've been higher up, we've had sides playing more often than not a 4-2-3-1 or some sort of 4-1-4-1 or 4-5-1, but we had a lot of 4-4-2s and a lot of 5 at the backs in League 2 and a few of the lesser teams in League 1. But we were able to take a 1-0 lead there, actually, through Tom Elliott. It's really nicely tucked away finish. Really pleased with the way that he dealt with that, because he hasn't done that too much this season. And Stephen Colker, with probably the most impressive goal line clearance we've seen this season. Really, really good to get in the way of that cross that was, or the shot that came from the drilled cross. And we were really unlucky not to take the lead from that one or the resulting header from the corner. So we stay at 1-0 as we head towards the half-hour mark, continuing though to be on the front foot, trying to really take the game to QPR. They weren't having the best of games against us, it has to be said, in this particular one. And actually, I felt more comfortable in this game than I have done in a couple of the most recent games we've played where we've actually come out on top more convincingly. But they get a straight red card for their defender Manuel da Costa here. Tom Elliott perhaps made the most of it. It was definitely an extravagant fall, as again you'll see from the replay. It does a complete front flip right there onto his arse, and Manuel da Costa was sent off for that as the last man. It was a professional foul, and unfortunately for him, he left the game. But weirdly, that made QPR come to life. Nico Kranjčar is going to stand the ball up into the box here, and it's Jordan Much that finds himself leaving the ball for Matty Phillips to volley on the edge of the box, and unfortunately for him, it flew over the top of the bar. So we stay at 1-0 in front, but again, like I say, QPR came to life now, and they were going to start to have a few chances. Matty Phillips was instrumental to pretty much everything that went through them. Charlie Austin and Jordan Much linking up well here, and a good strike from Austin on his left foot, but couldn't quite find the target, similarly to Matty Phillips, but this time it was slightly more or slightly closer to the goal, sorry. And then Matt Phillips is going to play the ball inside to Nico Kranjčar again. Kranjčar was actually having a very good game for QPR here, and if you remember, he scored against us in the game at Loftus Road, so I was definitely wary of everything that he posed as a threat. And also, Charlie Austin was so good in the air. I couldn't cope with him physically, aerially, at all. Just not whatsoever. He ran things. We get a tackle on him there, though, with Josh Coulson, and somehow Tom Elliott breaks the offside trap here. He's through one-on-one. All he's got to do is put it away, and it's game over. But no, a great save by the goalkeeper, and we stay at 1-0 against the 10 men. But QPR were going to continue to grow from strength to strength, but we kept trying to pick them off as they kept pushing forward, which is what we did there. Drops to James Wilson, great first touch, good shot, but it just kind of hits McCarthy. Not sure he knew too much about that save, it just kind of bounced off him, but we worked the ball again, this time to Tom Elliott. Good feet from him, uses James Wilson for a second time. This time McCarthy makes more of an orthodox save. It does he does actually make the save there rather than the ball just hitting him and actually inadvertently knocking it away to safety. But we're trying to clear the ball ourselves here. Well, not the best of tactics when you're 1-0 down and with 10 men. Yes, you want to attack, but you don't want to leave yourself with that much space in behind because you get punished. James Wilson scores his second goal in the past couple of episodes, and after 10 games without a goal, it's 2-2 for him, so delighted with the way he stepped up to the plate, and we do win 2-0 against the side that are top of the league. So we wanted to take that momentum into the next game against Blackburn Rovers. Obviously, they're another good, strong, physical outfit in the Championship. We've played against a few of those recently, and obviously that win against QPR has now moved us above them into first place in the league, but we're only a point clear of QPR and similarly only a point clear of Norwich City in third. So it's extremely tight at the top, but they're playing a 4-4-1-1, or maybe it's just more of a flat 4-2-3-1 with Tom Kearney sat behind Jordan Rhodes, with Marshall and Craig Conway out wide, and I was I don't know. I don't know whether I was confident going into this one or not, because I wasn't really expecting too much from QPR. We had a decent game, but it was against 10 men, so I didn't know whether it was kind of a false impression of the performance. As you can see, though, Fabian Caseda and Kwesi Appiah are back up top, with Jenkins Chikawee and Michael O'Halloran out wide still, with Donaldson back in the middle. But they were going to have the first chance of the game. Jordan Rhodes and Tom Kearney linking up very well indeed. Tom Kearney is actually a very good player. Slots it in towards Jordan Rhodes, and he gets lucky with the deflection off the defender. Conway's going to show great feet to get it back to him. He's got loads of space and great presence of mind there from Jordan Rhodes to unselfishly pass the ball across to the man that was waiting. And it was a question of offside because the goalkeeper had come out, but I think it was just two men behind the ball as it was played forward. So it did count, and we're 1-0 down. And Blackburn, one of the hardest teams we've played against all season, especially in this first half. So you can see, again, it's them on the attack. Whipped it in. Jordan Rose with the header, well saved by the goalkeeper, but not necessarily well pushed away from danger. He pushed it straight back towards the defender and the striker that were waiting there for it. I just got lucky with the fact that it was the defender that got there first. Going to get lucky here as well. Razor steals the ball off the defender, squares it back to Fabian Caseda, and then it's a nice little finish inside the near post. Just kind of finesses it round the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. And we're back on level terms at 1-1, and then of course that meant that Blackburn were going to come forwards again, so they did. Tom Kearney misses the initial header, and just as they'd given the ball away in their box for us to get the ball back, we did the same. Kearney with the shot though was pretty comfortable. I think it may have taken a slight deflection to kind of take all the sting out of the shot, etc. And it was a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. But they continued to come forward. Kearney out to Marshall on the far side, pretty much unmarked, not really well tracked by the midfielder. Unfortunately for us, Kearney pulled his shot across goal, but that was extremely close to them going in front for a second time. But Pernilla there just not got the strength to shrug off the first challenge, but again they're loose with the ball at the back. Does steal the ball away. This time it's the acceleration that gets him away, because his strength isn't that good, Pernilla, but he is able to get the ball into the back of the net to give us a 2-1 lead in the 70th minute, and subsequently a 2-1 win as well. So stealing the points there, to be completely honest, because we had to kind of make the most and capitalise on defensive mistakes from Blackburn to even get any sort of result, because they were very, very good in that game. But I was pleased to have come away with a win, especially considering we'd just beaten QPR as well. Now we're playing Huddersfield Town, who are 21st in the league, not having the best of seasons so far whatsoever, and obviously we wanted to take advantage of that as well. Hopefully we could really try and turn the screw on the teams behind us by picking up 9 points in today's episode, and with that win over QPR as well, that would really put us in a dominating position heading into the last 13 games of the season or so. But as you can see, the lineup's coming up on your screen right now. Jordan Rhodes from the previous game used to be at Huddersfield, but they've replaced him recently with James Vaughan, of course formerly of Everton. They've got Butterfield there in the middle, playing a 4-5-1, so a more defensive formation than the one that we played against Blackburn, but not necessarily a less dangerous one, because of course if they flood the midfield and can pass the ball around me, then we're still going to come under some pressure. But Kwesi gets played in here really nicely by Fabian Casade, but it's a really strong save by Alex Smithies. There's a goalkeeper rather that I am actually looking at for potentially being our number one for the BPL season if we get promoted. It of course all depends on how much money we have, but we are going to get the chance to have a shot at our potential goalkeeper replacement from the penalty spot. Only a yellow card though, and probably a fair decision considering the amount of defenders that were around him in the box. But Joel Lynch picks up the booking. We get the penalty. Kwesi Appiah is going to be the man to step up. I wasn't too sure which way to go. I took my time thinking about it, went to the right, goalkeeper went to his right and the left as we looked, and dove the wrong way. So 1-0 to Cambridge on the stroke of half time. Into the second half we go, and they're not got too many defenders back here. They did get quite adventurous looking for an equaliser. Kwesi's in behind. That touch was a little bit too heavy, and I just panicked when I got in front of goal. I thought, I can't shoot because he'll save it. I know, I'll try and go around him, and I didn't quite get the angle right, and he was able to smother the ball, Alex Smith. He's really good save, really good goalkeeping, and then great feet from James Vaughan to squeeze between two defenders to work the opportunity to have the shot. Zabre, though, able to pounce on it at the second attempt. Couldn't quite hold the first shot. It was very well hit, stinging the palms of the goalkeeper, and fortunately for me, he got there first before any attacker did on the rebound. But Charles is going to play the ball inside here to Cody, formerly of Sheffield United, now at Huddersfield, but, well, not really much you can do about a shot like that, is there? You can defend as much as you want and as stoutly as you want and keep them out from distance as much as you want, but when they play a shot like that from 25 yards into the top corner, you just have to say GG Well played. There was nothing I could do about that particular chance. We could do something here, though, if Razor can finish, which unfortunately he can't. And the attacker in the box, as it bounced past him, I couldn't change to him quickly enough, and he didn't. Unfortunately for me, the CPU didn't react for me and make the player just take a touch. So it bounced out past him. Otherwise, we would have got a 2-1 win there as well. But despite beating QPR at the beginning of the episode and winning the second game as well, we got 7 points from today's video, and we've still dropped from second to third. In fact, we went from second to first to third. So that draw against Huddersfield was actually more costly than initially we thought. So we beat QPR to go above them and still end the episode behind them and Norwich, who won all 3 of their games. So they're both on 69 and we're on 68. Our goal difference is much better than Norwich's, but actually worse than QPR's. So we just need to make sure that we can stay above Norwich, and I think we should be okay for promotion. There's still 13 games left. We're definitely going to get a playoff spot. We are almost 20 points clear of Middlesbrough in 7th, so that isn't an issue right now. The question is, can we get an automatic spot? We're going to have to knuckle down, continue to get the results, avoid defeats, pick up victories, and try and get 3 points from games where it looks like we're only going to get 1, like that Huddersfield game. If we could have just sneaked a goal in the last minute and won us that game 2-1, then we'd actually be top of the table. So it's going to be that close. It's going to be nip and tuck until the end of the season, but hopefully we can come out on top. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. So thank you very much for watching. There will have been an extremely important video go up earlier on today. The online career mode, an introduction episode went up earlier on. We're doing a collaboration series between myself and a few other career mode YouTubers, so definitely check the channel page for that, and I will be pushing that a lot over the next few days and on Twitter, etc. So follow me on Twitter if you want to stay bang up to date. If you've got any questions about that series, then of course feel free to ask them in the comment section of that video, or ask me on Twitter, or anyone else that's involved in the series. But for now, that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.